Hey guys, Tisha here, and we're back. Season 4. I told you guys I'm going to try to be consistent, so here I am. We begin season 4 talking again about the day that Solomon was born and how all the kids took to him. Christine lets us know that one of the things that she was surprised by is how much Peyton loves him and wants to be around him. She said it's to the point where Peyton will say, I gotta go see Solomon. I need to go hold him and talk to him. So I think that was really cute. We see the flashback of October 2011, which is when Robin let Mary know that she's willing and she wants to be a surrogate for her. Robin says that she knows that Mary has been through a lot of struggles when it comes to having babies and how the miscarriage she had several years ago really hit her hard. So this is something that she wants to do for her. She said because of the timing, she's going to give her room to decide that either way, whether she decides to or not, that her body would need time to recover and that it wouldn't be anything that would inconvenience her with how she's raising Solomon. I think that this was really convenient of Robin. I still feel that way. I still don't feel like her intentions were all that pure, but I'm gonna leave it alone. We find out that for Christmas, the family has rented a 10-bedroom home so that they could all be together, kind of like what they did the Christmas before, but this time it's in a much bigger space and they're gonna be there for a week. They are then seen looking at properties with Mona because they're looking for a place where they can have their home. They know that they're not going to be able to have one. They have settled into the fact that they're going to have 4. They just know that they want them to be right beside each other. They see property A, which is a cul-de-sac. It's in their current school zone, but they have to completely build for those houses. Property B has 1 home on it already, so they would only have to build 3 additional homes. But the problem is that home is not included for the zone for the little kids. It's only in the zone for the high school kids. Then they have property C, which is a beautiful property because it has a view of the city. But I already knew that they weren't going to take that as soon as I heard Robin saying that she doesn't like it because she doesn't want to see a view of the city. She said it like the view of Las Vegas City was so hard on her eyes. But let's be clear, any city at nighttime, as grungy as it may look in certain parts, looks beautiful from a distance where you can see the skyline with lights. Perfect example. Don't get mad at me. I'm just saying that this is a perfect example of where some areas aren't that great, but the skyline and even downtown areas, Manhattan, all that, look beautiful at night. We see Mary and Robin, and they're going Christmas shopping for their sister wives. Christine feels guilty. She doesn't like shopping with Mary and Robin. She jokes about it, saying some of the things they said, like, "Oh, I think this bag is nice, but wait a second, I'm not sure. Is it big enough? Is it wide enough?" Basically, it takes them a long time to pick out the most basic things because they're very indecisive. While she was saying that, I laughed because I thought about like my friend group and when we go out to eat and how certain people always want to go last because they know that it takes forever for them to decide. Even if it's at an establishment that we're all very aware of the menu and we know what we like, some of those friends will still be indecisive just to pick the thing that they said that they weren't going to get in the first place. So I chuckled a little bit at Christine and her impersonations. We then go to Christine's house where she is getting prepared for the Hanukkah celebration that she's doing, even though they're not Jewish. She's letting us know that it is 20 minutes before they're supposed to start dinner, and she's doing everything by herself. She says later on that she has helpers, but I think her helpers were her kids because Kody is clearly asleep while she's cooking. So seeing this makes me think back to season 18 when Christine let us know that at some point she noticed that whenever she had events that Kody wouldn't help her. But then she would see how hands-on he was when it came to the things that Robin had and the events that she was doing. This is a prime example of what she's talking about. We haven't seen everything because there are times when they aren't filming, there are gaps. Like we went from Solomon just being bored in October to now it's Christmas time. So we know that there was a 2-month gap where we did not see them filming. I say this to say, we're in season 4. They've had several family gatherings. This is the second one that I've seen at Christine's house. And once again, Kody was not helping her. Kody was in the recliner asleep. We find out that Christine is using Hanukkah to replace the celebration that they used to do to celebrate Joseph Smith's birthday, who is the founder of their church. Christine says that it's something that she used to really look forward to, and she used to do it with her family. We hear from Mary that it's not something that fundamental Mormon faith normally celebrates, but it was something that they did mainly because of Christine. Kody then lets us know that he felt like they didn't need to do it anymore because he didn't want it to be seen as if they were worshiping Joseph Smith. He then looks at Christine and says that Christine took it personally in the way. As Christine is about to talk, Robin says she took it personally because it's something that's very near and dear to her heart. Kody has no response to that. Kody struggles with empathizing with, I was going to say with Christine, but I think he struggles with empathizing with anybody who doesn't see or do things the way that he wants to do them. Watching him, where am I at? Give me one moment, y'all. I lost my train of thought and I can't find it in my notes. Okay, that was the end of that section. That's why I can't find it in my notes. It's season 4. And here we have Christine saying that her and Kody's relationship is in a standstill right now. She says she hopes it will be better, but they aren't working on it. Watching him as she talks and seeing his reactions to what she's saying, I think he kind of started to check out as early as season 4. I don't think he liked the way that Christine received Robin. He didn't like how vocal she was about not being included in the process, and her saying that she felt like he was neglecting their family when the family needed him. Kody feels like Christine is a very different person than she used to be. That with counseling, one of the things that you learn is that you have to own your stuff, and that Christine doesn't do that. I want Kody to hold up a mirror to himself and give that statement to himself, because I feel like they're all guilty of sometimes not owning their mess, but I think that Kody is more so guilty. Think about all the times that we've seen Christine apologize for being jealous, say that she shouldn't have done this, say that she shouldn't have done that, extend many olive branches to Robin, making that thing that says that we have more family join here, saying that she's more than willing to help with Solomon in any capacity Robin wants her to, offering childcare. There's so many instances where Christine tried to make up for what Kody deemed as her mistake, but I feel like the damage was done, and Kody, whether he wants to admit it or not, does not have a very forgiving spirit. Mary chimes in and says that it's easy when you're in a situation to put the blame on the other person, and she knows that that is what Christine and Kody are doing. You can't speak to what you know because you're not a part of their relationship. This is the part that I don't like about the dynamic between the wives and the husband, because they pick and choose when they're supposed to operate separately in their marriage versus when they're not. I don't understand why Mary feels like she can speak so much on this when I'm sure that Kody tells her his version of things, much like we've seen him do in later years with his other wives. She says the biggest thing that you have to do is look inward because you can't change the other person. I do believe that you do need to look inward, but I think another person can change. They just have to be willing to change. I don't think that it's okay to exclude the other person not doing the work. And I think a lot of times excuses are made for Kody as to why he's not doing the work. Not after Christmas, after dinner, they go to their neighbor's house and sing Christmas carol songs. It's the next day, we see the family going to a ski resort where it takes Kody and Hunter and Logan to cut down this Christmas brown tree. It's a oogly tree, like it's missing a lot of spaces and all these other things. You heard me right, it's ugly. I take trees very seriously. I do. And I haven't had a real tree in my place, but I've had a real tree in my boyfriend's place. And I don't play when it comes to the decorating of the trees. I'm one of those people who have like 5 foot and up trees in various rooms of the house. Don't judge me. I still even have a tree right now in my bedroom from last Christmas that I was supposed to take down, but I never took down because it was just so pretty to me. So when I looked at this tree, I just kept laughing because I'm like, ooh, this tree needs some help. While the adults were putting the tree on Christine's car, there's some commotion in Janelle's car because Gabe punched the mess out of Garrison's nose to the point where Garrison's eyes watering and blood is just drooping like on the floor. Like you look on, it's on his shirt, it's all over the floor, like not little droplets here. I thought it was going to be something that was going to take longer for her to stop, but she was able to stop it pretty quickly. Garrison says that he accidentally kicked Truly, and from him accidentally kicking Truly, that I guess Gabe started kicking him, and then they started throwing punches, and Gabe got him really good in the nose. She very calmly says that you all are letting anger get the best of you. I'll be honest, I wouldn't have handled the situation the way that Janelle did. I think about if this were to happen with one of Robin's children, like if Gabe had did that to Dayton, I feel like there would have been a very different reaction from the parents, including from Kody. Janelle says she never knows who starts it because they're always fighting. Kody lets us know that he did not intervene because Janelle had it handled. Janelle says Kody isn't there all the time, so she's okay with handling it. I really don't feel like Kody was as supportive in this situation as he should have been. It seems to me like the moms are always dealing with the kids' issues and making excuses for Kody when he doesn't intervene. Mary is talking about how she personally sees no problem with the moms handling things sometimes. And as she's talking, I just happened to notice Kody's body language, how his head was down, how he wasn't giving eye contact to the camera, and how he looked kind of somber. It makes me wonder what he was thinking in that moment while they were talking. Janelle makes them hug, and as she's making them hug in the confessional, we hear Kody say that he probably would have came down much harder on them. And when he says this, he was looking straight into the camera. My question is, if you probably would have come down harder on them, why didn't you just come down harder on them? Janelle separated them. Janelle fixed the initial problem. So then, Kody, this is where you and Janelle come together to do the punishment phase. Instead of you saying, I would have did much more than what she did. It's like, okay, if you would have did more, then do more. Kody lets us know that he sometimes feels like he doesn't have the right tools to deal with them as a parent. He wants them to understand that what they're doing now at this age, if they were to do it at his age, it would mean that they would go to jail. I feel that that's fair to say because it would be considered assault. I also feel like these are definitely conversations you should have with your children. It's a new day, and we see Kody taking Isabel, Gwen, Aurora, and Savannah to go shopping for their moms, as well as for some of them for the other gifts they need to get. I wonder why Brianna wasn't included in this trip, because she is the same age as Savannah. He says some of the girls aren't shoppers, so this is going to be an interesting trip. The kids explain the Christmas exchange that the family does each year, where they pick names and they get them a gift. We know this is the same exchange that they did not do last Christmas because of Robin. Robin, this is what they're talking about with Robin and the text thread saying that she wants them to meet on Zoom and all this other stuff to do the gift exchange. This is the gift exchange that they're speaking of. Kody's idea, what I thought of getting them gifts, was potpourri, because we saw him grabbing potpourri for his different wives, and I said, oh no, he cannot be serious. He wasn't. I don't know if he just got it for their homes, but it wasn't their gifts that they got. We find out that the wives all put in for money for one large gift, that Robin had a suggestion. She thought she knew exactly what Kody wanted, and apparently she did, because they went ahead and got the gift. Kody says that each mother and him have a budget, and that determines how they're going to spend their money. For some reason, I just can't help but think that this isn't fair. Think about people like Janelle, who's the breadwinner, who we all know at this time. I believe she was the only one who had a job, because I remember last season when she was doing yoga, she said she wakes up early in the morning and does an hour of yoga before she goes to work. So I'm thinking she had a job at this point. Also, because she's not still complaining about not working, so I'm thinking she has a job. He says that they try to keep that money to be the same amount for the sake of the kids. I don't see how it could be the same amount across the board if Mary only has Leon, and if some of the other wives had more children than others at one point. I don't see how that works, but apparently it works for them. Janelle and Christine's kids are packed and ready to go. They're all looking forward to be in the same home with their siblings. We then get to Mary and Leon, and Mary is shouting for Leon to come and help. Mary is struggling because she has a lot of things to pack, and only Leon is there to help. It looked like Mary had a whole bunch of food and all that other stuff. This is why, in my opinion, Mary should have called one of the other moms and asked them if they could send over the teenage kids to help her pack. We then see Robin is struggling. She tells us she's struggling, but her husband, Kody, thought enough to bring Hunter, Logan, and then Peyton came over to help. I understand that Robin has little children, but I also think that they should have done the same thing for Mary. Robin says it's very great when she has them come over to help her, because they take the initiative, they're very ambitious, and they get stuff done. Mary says, what? In the confessional, because she said it would have been nice to have them come and help her. Mary says she's a very independent person. She can handle it on her own. She doesn't ask for help, but it still would have been nice to have help, because she used to have help when they were in the one home. We then see Kody pull up to Mary's house, where she has a lot of things on the ground, and he says, what time are we looking at, Mary? Instead of going over and saying like, hey, hun, what do you need me to help you with, anything like that, first thing out of his mouth is, what time are we looking at, Mary? And then he says, hi. She says she's not expecting anything, and that she didn't really need it because she could handle herself, but she thought that she would get some help, and she did notice the difference that she didn't get any. I wish Mary would cut the crap. It bothered Mary that the boys did not come over to help her. If it didn't bother her, then she wouldn't be speaking on it, and she wouldn't feel the need to make it seem like it bothered her because at the house they would have done it. No, it bothered you because they didn't do it now that you're not at the house. That's all you had to say. And then it bothered you even more because Kody thought enough to bring the boys over to help Robin, who does have some older boys because Dayton and Peyton are not too far apart in age. They play together and stuff like that. So she did have some additional help. Her little kids are little, but they're not so little that they can't help themselves either. So Mary, yeah, you felt away. We then see that they arrive at the house. All the kids are excited. It's not even 5 minutes, Kody says. And the kids are trying to figure out what rooms they're going to be in. Kody says, this is a place where everyone looks to him to see how he's going to assign the rooms. And he doesn't want to do that. They weren't looking to Kody to see how he was going to assign the rooms. That's what he thought. They were working it out amongst themselves. I just think that this family always overcomplicates things. They knew when they got this house that the house had 10 bedrooms. I'm sure someone looked at it. So they could have decided all of this, what mom was going to be where, what kids were going to be where, before they even walked into the house. We know that Janelle says that she just wants to be in a place where she's not waking people up because she wants to wake up early in the morning. Christine doesn't want to be next to Janelle because she doesn't want to hear her waking up early in the morning. Mary doesn't want to be in the master bedroom that's next to another master bedroom. They work it out some kind of way. All the kids love being at the rental house. For a week, we see them laying in the bed together, talking how much space they have, how nice it is. Janelle says that as she's sitting here and she's seeing everything, that their success came with their children because their kids all grew up as siblings. Some families live apart, but they didn't do that. And even though they're living apart now, because they were all in that one home, it helped them. This goes back to Robin always talking about how the dynamic with her kids was different. Part of the reason why the dynamic with Robin's kids was different is because Robin's kids were never raised in the one home. There's a different type of connection that happens when you're in the same home as someone. I look at my my college friends, and there was something very special that I developed with my friends from college. One of the reasons why is because we all lived on the same floor. We were very intentional about how we met up and things like that. And even the guys that didn't live on the same floor, girls were on even floors, guys were on odd floors. So we would all meet downstairs and go out. So we were near each other. Not having that changes your dynamic. And that's one of the things that Robin's kids never established with the Browns. Even though Robin tries to make it seem like she wasn't accepted. No, your family was accepted. It just was that they didn't get some of those key years, and that the younger kids did to form the bond, which then turned into older kids. All those young kids can't have a bond if you as the parents don't encourage them to. If you don't bring them over, if you don't do things with them, then how are they supposed to bond? The kids are all getting ready for a nativity play. Leon is in charge, and they give Leon a really hard time during the process. Leon was dealing with both negative and positive attitudes. We see them set up that patchy tree, and as they're doing it, we get a voiceover about Logan. This is Logan's last Christmas, and Janelle feels like it's going to be real tough for her. Mary points out that even though Logan came from Janelle, it's not just a milestone for Janelle, it's a milestone for all of them, and that they're all going to miss him. Logan does a lot to help his family. We've seen him make breakfast. We've seen him drop off and pick up kids. We've seen him be a disciplinarian. I'm sure that all of the parents are really going to miss him. Kody lets us know that he's not looking forward to it, but he knows it's a part of the process. We then see them do the nativity play where Leon reads the script and the siblings do the parts. The parents like it. Kody says that the best and easiest part was played by Solomon because he was baby Jesus. We now have Christmas Day. The tree is loaded with gifts. Savannah made a cute gift. I'm not going to go over everybody's gift, but I thought Savannah's gift was cute. Savannah made a cute gift where it was a shoe box, and she drew 4 houses, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, with a road, And when you moved the box, you heard something moving in the box. And she made this for Leon, and she told Leon that that was the car driving from one house to another. Now, I don't think it was the gift that Leon was quite looking for, but Leon was very excited about it. And you could tell that Savannah was very excited to give it to Leon. We see the other exchanges being done and the other kids getting excited. I then see Kody presenting his different wives to his gifts. And I was like, thank goodness he did not get that potpourri. So this is what he did. He gave Janelle a tablet. He got Mary a necklace with the ruby and a bunch of diamonds. He got Robin a guitar that she's wanted for 10 years. And he got Christine the ring that she wanted. In the confession, while Robin is talking about her guitar, her and Kody are looking into each other's eyes and they're beaming. When I say beaming, they are beaming, looking like kids in a candy store. Let me add that while they're doing this, there are other wives that are sitting in between them. They're not directly next to each other, so I'm sure the other wives notice. I point this out because it has been evident from day one when Robin walked in, when she entered into this family, that Kody has loved her to a different degree than he does his other wives. No matter how much in season 8 he tries to tell us that they had to hide their love for one another, you did a bad job at it, because he wasn't hiding it. It was obvious. Maybe he had to hide his desire to touch her or to be affectionate with her in public, but you never hid your love. Your love is visually different for her than what it is for your other wives. The closest thing that I kind of see to it in the beginning is Mary. Now, over time, we know that's going to change, but I just don't see that degree of affection and excitement when it comes to your other wives. Christine knew what she was getting from Kody because she told him exactly what she wanted. We see that the wives got Kody this exotic gun that he wanted so badly, and he's very, very excited about it. Excuse me, sorry. Robin then hands out her gifts to her wives, letting it be known that she's very, 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 very excited about giving them this gift. And her words, you better act like you like it. No, let me not say her words. And my words, you better act like you like it or there's going to be a problem. The wives open the box and they're all excited. And we find out that this is not just any type of necklace. This is the necklace that Robin designed. They think it's cute. I don't think it's cute at all. But it has something to do with their rings, and she made different pendants for the images on their ring. And this was the beginning of Robin pushing the Sister Wives Closet business idea that she wanted, which is why she was really excited about it. Mary says she was excited too. We then see Kody and Christine off in a room, and he is asking her about the ring, and she's real happy about it. And he goes, so am I out of the doghouse now? And Christine was like, really, love? In other words, like, do we have to talk about this right now? Christine says that they still need to work on some things, and she feels like some of that begins with communication. He then says, you're afraid to be with me, aren't you? She says, I don't feel like you want to be with me at all. He says sometimes he's excited to come over, and then he gets there and he wonders what's going on. What are we missing? Because what do you mean you get there and you wonder what's going on? What do you mean sometimes you're excited to be over there? You should be excited to be with your wife all the time. But we're supposed to believe that Kody treats all his wives the same way, right? She says when you do come over, which implies he doesn't come over all the time, that you come over at the latest possible moment and then you leave as early as you can. And he does. So when he's saying this, I'm like, oh my goodness. She's saying this in the beginning of season 4, which means Christine stuck around for an additional 10 years and dealt with feeling like she was no longer a priority. She says coming over and ignoring us and then playing on the phone, saying that it's business, isn't working on things. She's right. They agree to try to do better. They'll continue the conversation later. He kisses her and he walks out. Christine was unhappy for a long time. I'm so happy that she left. We then see later on all the families are in the living room and Kody makes an announcement. Excuse me. As soon as I thought about yawning, I yawned. About finding these homes in the cul-de-sac right next to each other and asking the kids if they want to go. I got irritated by this scene, even though they try to make it something cute, but I was annoyed because my thoughts are, okay, so you don't even know whether or not you're going to get approved for this area. You also don't know whether or not the kids are going to be able to be in this area, but you want to take them to this place where all these homes are supposed to be near each other and get their hopes up. But you weren't willing to give them enough time when they were in Utah to know that they were leaving, but you want to just throw this part on them. You don't want to get their hopes up, but you don't have a problem like crushing their dreams. That's just the way I'm going to put it. He says that last Christmas they were in a rough place, and now that they've come such a long way, he's happy. We see them ending the episode flying kites, and Robin says they're doing this so that the kids can dream. Beginning of season 4, feel like we're already seeing some things. We're going to see more. I'm going to try to stay consistent with posting every day. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We are on our way to 400. So if you're watching and you haven't hit that subscription button yet, what are you waiting on? Until next time.